Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you went there? You're standing there, looking around, feeling a little embarrassed, maybe even a little scared, wondering if this is the beginning of something bigger. Or maybe you've struggled to remember the name of someone you've known for years, someone whose face is so familiar, but their name just won't come to you, no matter how hard you try. If you're over 60, you might be telling yourself this is just normal aging, that forgetting things is simply part of getting older, something you just have to accept and live with. But what if I told you that's not true? What if I told you that what you do in just 30 minutes before you go to sleep tonight could be the difference between staying sharp and alert, or watching your precious memories slowly slip away? I know that might sound too good to be true, but stay with me here, because what I'm about to share with you is going to change everything you thought you knew about protecting your mind as you age. Recent groundbreaking brain research has revealed something absolutely remarkable. Your nighttime routine isn't just about getting a good night's rest. It's literally determining whether your brain can clean itself and preserve those precious memories that make you who you are. Every single night, your brain goes through an incredible washing process, clearing out the toxic waste that builds up during the day. But here's the thing that's going to shock you. If you miss this critical window, if you don't prepare your brain properly for this nightly cleanup, you could be accelerating memory loss without even knowing it. You could be sabotaging your own cognitive health with habits you think are harmless. I've spent years studying the latest research on brain health and aging, and what scientists have discovered about sleep and memory will absolutely amaze you. In the next few minutes, I'm going to share 5 scientifically proven nighttime rituals that brain researchers say are absolutely non-negotiable if you're over 60. These aren't just suggestions. These are evidence-based protocols that could be the difference between thriving mentally in your golden years or struggling with memory problems. And I want you to stick around until the very end, because the 5th ritual is going to surprise you. It takes just 2 minutes, but the research shows it could literally add years to your mental sharpness. Now, I know you're probably thinking, I've tried everything, nothing works for me. Or maybe you're scared that it's already too late. But I promise you, what you're about to learn isn't complicated. It doesn't require expensive supplements or treatments, and you can start tonight. Your brain is more resilient and adaptable than you might think, even after 60. So comment brain power right now if you're ready to discover what brain scientists know about protecting your memory after 60. And if this information could help someone you love, maybe a spouse, a friend, or even yourself, hit that like button now, because we're about to dive into research that could literally save your memories. Now, let me tell you about something that will absolutely blow your mind. Scientists have discovered that your brain has its own personal cleaning crew that works the night shift, and most people over 60 have no idea this is even happening. This is the first thing brain scientists say you cannot afford to ignore if you want to protect your memory after 60. Your brain has an incredible waste removal system called the glymphatic system. And here's what's absolutely fascinating. This system becomes 60% more active during deep sleep. Think about that for a moment. While you're sleeping, your brain is literally washing itself, flushing out toxic proteins like beta amyloid that researchers have directly linked to Alzheimer's disease. It's like having a team of janitors working through the night, clearing out all the garbage that accumulated in your brain during the day. But here's where most people, especially those over 60, are making a critical mistake that's costing them their cognitive health. You probably think sleep is just about rest, about recharging your energy for the next day. That's what I thought too, until I discovered the research. Sleep isn't just downtime. It's when your brain does its most important maintenance work. When you don't get quality sleep, you're not just tired the next day. You're literally preventing your brain from detoxifying itself. Imagine if you stopped taking out the trash in your house for weeks. The garbage would pile up, wouldn't it? Your house would become toxic, unlivable. That's exactly what happens in your brain when you don't get proper sleep. Those toxic proteins start accumulating, building up like garbage that never gets collected. And after 60, your brain is already more vulnerable to this toxic buildup, which makes quality sleep absolutely crucial. Now, I know what you're thinking. I do sleep. I go to bed every night. But here's the thing. It's not just about closing your eyes for a few hours. You need 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep. But more importantly, you need to reach those deep sleep stages where this magical cleaning process happens. This means having a consistent bedtime, keeping your room cool, between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit, and making sure it's completely dark. Even that little light from your alarm clock or the street light creeping through your curtains can interfere with this crucial brain cleaning process. But getting quality sleep isn't just about your environment. It's about what you do before you even get into bed, which brings us to our next crucial point that could determine whether you wake up with a sharper mind or a foggier one. Here's something that's going to surprise you, and it flies in the face of what most people believe about aging and sleep. You've probably heard people say, "Oh, I don't need as much sleep now that I'm older." Or maybe you've even told yourself that waking up multiple times during the night is just part of getting older. Let me tell you, that's one of the most dangerous myths about aging, and it's literally stealing years from your mental sharpness. Brain imaging studies have shown us something remarkable. When researchers looked at the brains of people over 60, they found that those who slept less than 7 hours or more than 9 hours had accelerated brain aging. Their brains looked older, more shrunken, with less activity in the areas responsible for memory and thinking. But those who hit that sweet spot of 7 to 8 hours, their brains looked younger, more vibrant, more protected against the ravages of time. Now here's the crucial part that changes everything. Quality trumps quantity every single time. You could lie in bed for 8 hours, but if you're tossing and turning, if you're waking up every hour, if you're never reaching those deep, restorative sleep stages, your brain isn't getting the cleaning it desperately needs. It's like having a dishwasher that runs for hours, but never actually washes the dishes. The truth is, older adults need just as much sleep as younger people. You just have a harder time getting it. Your sleep architecture changes as you age. You spend less time in deep sleep, you wake up more easily, and you might find yourself wide awake at 3 a.m. wondering why you can't get back to sleep. But this isn't something you have to accept as inevitable. This is something you can fight back against. Here's what I want you to do starting tonight. Begin tracking your sleep patterns. Not obsessively, but just notice when you go to bed, when you actually fall asleep, how many times you wake up, and how you feel in the morning. This awareness alone will start to show you patterns you never noticed before. And here's a mistake that's sabotaging millions of seniors: those long afternoon naps. I know, you're tired after lunch, you feel like you deserve a good nap. But if you're napping for more than 20 minutes in the afternoon, you're essentially borrowing sleep from your nighttime account. Keep those naps short and sweet, or better yet, try to push through that afternoon sleepiness with a short walk or some light activity. Now, when you do wake up in the middle of the night, and you will, because that's normal, don't lie there struggling, watching the clock, getting more and more frustrated. That's just making it worse. Get up, go to another room, do something quiet and calming for about 20 minutes. Read a book with dim light, do some gentle stretching, maybe write in a journal. Then go back to bed. Your brain needs to associate your bed with sleep, not with lying awake worrying. Now, once you've optimized your sleep duration and started paying attention to these patterns, there's a simple 2-minute practice that researchers found dramatically improves both sleep quality and memory retention. This next technique is so powerful, yet so overlooked, that it could be the game changer you've been looking for. What I'm about to share with you might sound too simple to be true, but this 2-minute practice has been proven in rigorous scientific studies to dramatically improve both your sleep quality and your ability to form and retain memories. It's called the Gratitude Memory Protocol, and it's based on research published in Applied Psychology, Health and Well-Being that will change how you think about your bedtime routine forever. Here's what the researchers discovered. When they studied people who wrote down 3 things they were grateful for before bed, something remarkable happened. These people fell asleep faster, slept longer, and showed significantly improved memory consolidation compared to those who didn't practice gratitude. But here's the part that really gets me excited. When they looked at brain scans, they could actually see the difference gratitude was making in real time. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Gratitude? That sounds like some kind of feel-good, new age nonsense. Trust me, I understand that skepticism because that's exactly what I thought too. But this isn't about positive thinking or wishful hoping. This is hard science. When you practice gratitude, brain scans show that you're actually activating your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for executive function and memory processing. At the same time, you're reducing stress hormones like cortisol that literally interfere with your brain's ability to form and store memories. Think about this for a moment. When you're stressed, when you're lying in bed worrying about tomorrow or replaying the frustrations of today, your brain is flooded with stress chemicals that are toxic to memory formation. It's like trying to write on paper while someone is shaking the table. But when you shift your focus to gratitude, you're essentially telling your brain, it's safe now. You can do your important work. Here's exactly how to do this. And please don't let the simplicity fool you. Every night, before you get into bed, write down 3 specific things you're grateful for. And this is crucial. Be specific. Don't just write family or health. Write something like, the way my grandson's eyes lit up when he saw me today, or how good that cup of coffee tasted this morning when I sat quietly on my porch. The more specific you are, the more your brain has to work to recall and process that positive experience, which strengthens both the memory and the positive emotional response. This entire process takes just 2 minutes. But what's happening in your brain during those 2 minutes is extraordinary. You're literally rewiring your neural pathways, training your brain to focus on positive experiences and memories instead of dwelling on worries and stress. You're setting the stage for your brain to enter that calm, receptive state that's essential for deep, restorative sleep. Some people like to keep a small notebook by their bedside table. Others prefer a simple piece of paper. The format doesn't matter. What matters is that you're taking just 2 minutes to consciously redirect your thoughts toward appreciation and gratitude before your head hits the pillow. Now, gratitude prepares your mind beautifully for sleep, but your environment needs preparation too. And this is where most people are making critical mistakes that completely sabotage their brain's nightly repair work, often without even realizing it. Your bedroom environment is either working for your brain or against it. And unfortunately, most people over 60 are unknowingly creating the perfect conditions for memory loss every single night. Let me explain what's happening in your brain when you make these seemingly innocent choices and why they're more damaging than you could ever imagine. When you look at your phone, tablet, or watch TV before bed, you're exposing your eyes to blue light. Now, your brain interprets this blue light as sunlight, which sends a signal to stop producing melatonin, your body's natural sleep hormone. But here's the shocking part that most people don't realize. This blue light exposure suppresses melatonin production for up to 3 hours after you turn off that screen. 3 hours. That means if you're scrolling through your phone at 9 p.m., your brain might not start producing adequate melatonin until midnight. And temperature. Oh, this is something that can make or break your sleep quality. Your core body temperature naturally drops as you prepare for sleep, and this cooling process actually triggers the deep sleep stages where your brain does its most important memory work. When your bedroom is too warm, you're fighting against this natural process. Your brain can't reach those crucial deep sleep stages where the glymphatic system I mentioned earlier goes into overdrive, cleaning out those toxic proteins. Then there's noise pollution, and I'm not just talking about loud, obvious sounds. Even subtle, inconsistent sounds, like the voices from a TV show, cars passing by, or your partner's snoring, fragment your sleep cycles. Your brain needs uninterrupted cycles to properly consolidate memories and clear out cellular waste. When these cycles are constantly interrupted, it's like trying to have a conversation while someone keeps tapping you on the shoulder every few minutes. Now, here's where I see so many well-meaning people make mistakes that are costing them their cognitive health. You might think, oh, I've been falling asleep with the TV on for years. I'm used to it now. It doesn't bother me. Or maybe you tell yourself, I'll just check my phone for 1 minute to see if there are any important messages. But research shows us something very different. Your brain never actually adapts to these disruptions. Even if you think you're sleeping fine, these habits are dramatically reducing your brain's ability to form and strengthen memories. Here's what you need to do, starting tonight. And I know some of this might feel challenging at first, but your future self will thank you. No screens for at least 1 hour before bed. Not your phone, not your tablet, not the TV. I know that might feel impossible at first, especially if watching late-night television has been part of your routine for decades. But remember, we're talking about protecting your most precious asset, your mind. Keep your bedroom temperature between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit. I know it might feel a bit cool at first, but this is the optimal temperature range for deep, restorative sleep. Use blackout curtains or an eye mask to eliminate any light sources. Even that small glow from your alarm clock or the street light filtering through your window can interfere with your sleep quality. If you need some kind of background sound because complete silence feels uncomfortable, use consistent white noise, maybe from a small fan or a white noise machine. But not the TV. Television shows have varying volumes, dialogue, music, and sound effects that keep your brain partially alert and engaged even when you're sleeping. And here's the big one that I know will be the hardest for many of you. Put your phone in another room. Not on your nightstand, not even face down, but in another room entirely. No exceptions. I understand this might feel scary at first, especially if you've been keeping it nearby in case of emergencies. But the constant electromagnetic fields and the temptation to check it are sabotaging your sleep in ways you can't even perceive. Your environment sets the stage for quality sleep, but there's one final ritual that brain researchers say is like a reset button for your nervous system. This last technique might just be the most powerful of all, and it's something you can do right in your bed, taking just 5 minutes to completely transform how your brain prepares for its nightly restoration work. The technique is perhaps the most elegant and powerful of all, and it's something that can literally flip a switch in your nervous system, transforming your brain from a state of alertness and stress into the perfect condition for memory consolidation and restoration. I call this the 5-minute nervous system reset, and the research behind it is absolutely fascinating. Your nervous system has 2 main modes. There's your sympathetic nervous system, which keeps you alert and ready for action. This is your fight or flight mode. Then there's your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest and digest mode. This is when your body focuses on healing, repairing, and yes, consolidating memories. The problem is, as we age, many of us get stuck in that sympathetic, alert state, even when we're trying to sleep. Our minds are racing, our bodies are tense, and our brains can't shift into that crucial repair mode. But here's what researchers have discovered. Just 5 minutes of specific, gentle movement and breathing exercises can activate your parasympathetic nervous system and dramatically improve your cognitive function the next day. They've actually measured this in laboratory settings, tracking brain activity and memory performance, and the results are remarkable. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Oh great, another exercise routine I need to learn. Or maybe you're worried because you've heard that you need to exercise regularly for brain health, and you're thinking this means you need to start doing intense workouts. Let me put your mind at ease right now. This isn't about intense exercise or complicated meditation practices. In fact, vigorous exercise within 2 hours of bedtime can actually interfere with your sleep by keeping your core body temperature elevated and your heart rate up. And complex meditation practices can sometimes be overstimulating, especially when you're just starting out. What we're talking about here is gentle, soothing movement that tells your nervous system it's safe to switch into repair mode. Think of it as a lullaby for your nervous system. Here's exactly what I want you to do, and you can do this right in your bed or sitting on the edge of your bed. Start with the 4-7-8 breathing technique. This is incredibly simple but amazingly effective. Breathe in through your nose for a count of 4. Hold that breath for a count of 7. Then exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 8. Do this just 4 times. That's it. What's happening during this breathing pattern is remarkable. You're activating your vagus nerve, which is like the main highway between your brain and your parasympathetic nervous system. You're literally telling your brain, through your breath, that it's time to calm down, it's time to rest, it's time to begin the repair work. After your breathing, add some gentle movement. Simple neck rolls, letting your head gently circle to release tension that's been building up all day. Then some shoulder rolls, lifting your shoulders up toward your ears, and then letting them drop with a gentle sigh. Maybe some gentle side-to-side neck stretches. Nothing vigorous, nothing that gets your heart rate up, just slow, mindful movements that help release the physical tension your body has been carrying. This entire process takes just 5 minutes. But what you're doing is sending a powerful signal to your brain that the day is done, that it's time to begin the healing and memory consolidation work. You're essentially giving your brain permission to switch from day mode to night mode. These 5 rituals, optimizing your brain's cleaning system through quality sleep, hitting that 7 to 8 hour sweet spot, practicing gratitude to prepare your mind, creating the perfect sleep environment, and resetting your nervous system with gentle movement and breathing. They work together like a symphony for your brain. Each element supports and enhances the others, creating the ideal conditions for memory preservation and cognitive health. But I know change can feel overwhelming, especially when you're worried about cognitive decline, especially when you've already started noticing those little memory lapses that make your heart skip a beat with worry. I understand that noticing memory changes can be absolutely terrifying. When you walk into a room and forget why you went there, when you can't remember where you put your keys, when a familiar name suddenly escapes you, there's this cold fear that creeps in, isn't there? You might be lying awake at night worrying about your independence, wondering if you're going to become a burden to your family, or terrified that you're going to lose the precious memories that make you who you are. The memories of your wedding day, your children's first steps, the sound of your mother's voice, all those moments that define your life story. These fears are completely natural and understandable. Every single person over 60 has felt this fear at some point. You're not being dramatic, you're not overreacting, and you're certainly not alone in feeling this way. When your memory starts playing tricks on you, it feels like you're losing control of the very essence of who you are. But here's what's beautiful about this research, and here's what I want you to hold on to with everything you've got. Your brain remains remarkably adaptable even after 60. Scientists call this neuroplasticity, and it means your brain can still form new connections, still strengthen existing pathways, still protect and preserve your precious memories. Every single night, you have a fresh opportunity to support your cognitive health. Every time you lay your head on your pillow, you have another chance to help your brain do its incredible cleaning and restoration work. You're not helpless against aging. You're not a victim of time. You're not doomed to watch your memories fade away. You are actively participating in your brain's maintenance. You have tools, you have strategies, and you have the power to influence your cognitive future in ways that previous generations never had. Tonight, right now, I want you to try just one of these techniques. Just one. Don't overwhelm yourself trying to change everything at once. Pick the one that feels most doable for you. Maybe it's the gratitude practice, taking just 2 minutes to write down 3 specific things you're grateful for. Maybe it's setting your phone aside an hour earlier than you normally would. Maybe it's adjusting your bedroom temperature or trying that simple 4-7-8 breathing technique. Small changes create powerful momentum. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to implement all 5 techniques perfectly from day one. Start with one, let it become natural, let it become part of your routine, and then add another when you're ready. This is about building sustainable habits that will serve your brain for years to come. Remember, cognitive health isn't about perfection, it's about consistency. It's about showing up for your brain night after night, giving it the best possible conditions to do its remarkable work. Every good night's sleep is an investment in your future self. Every time you practice gratitude, every time you create the right environment, every time you reset your nervous system, you're making a deposit in your cognitive health account. You have more control over your brain health than you might think. Yes, aging is real. Yes, there are changes that happen as we get older that we can't completely prevent. But there's so much you can influence, so much you can protect, so much you can preserve. Your memories, your sharpness, your mental clarity, these aren't just at the mercy of time. They're in your hands, and they're worth fighting for. Let me quickly recap what we've covered today, because these 5 strategies could literally change the trajectory of your cognitive health. First, protect your brain's cleaning system with 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep, understanding that your glymphatic system is working overtime to clear out toxic proteins. Second, practice just 2 minutes of gratitude before bed, writing down 3 specific things you're thankful for. Third, Optimize your sleep environment. No screens for an hour before bed. Keep your room cool and dark, and put that phone in another room. Fourth, reset your nervous system with gentle movement and the 4-7-8 breathing technique. And fifth, remember that consistency beats perfection every single time. These aren't just sleep tips. They're memory protection protocols backed by real brain science. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these nighttime rituals are you going to try first? Drop a comment below and let me know. I read every single comment, and I genuinely love hearing about your experiences with better sleep and sharper thinking. Maybe you'll try the gratitude practice tonight, or maybe you're ready to banish that phone from your bedroom. Whatever you choose, I want to celebrate that first step with you. If you found this information valuable and you want more evidence-based strategies for healthy aging, please subscribe to Elderly Healthcare. We're building a community of people who refuse to accept cognitive decline as inevitable. People who believe that your best mental years can still be ahead of you. Thank you for investing in your brain health today. Your future self is going to thank you for what you learned here. Sweet dreams, sharp mind, and I'll see you in the next video.